A fiery inferno destroyed a Hollywood producer, Oren Aviv's $6.49 million mansion. And let's check out this video because this is pretty insane. Volume all the way up. Jesus Christ. Like, the amount of fire that is going on in this mansion is insane. Oh, that house is completely done. Like, there is no repairing this house at all. Dear Lord. Now, also the thing that really scares me about this is like how much of the property itself is going to get damaged before this is like done. Crazy. So let's see. So video captured the ripping flames that destroyed a Hollywood movie producer's $6.49 million mansion early Friday morning in Southampton. Which, by the way, I hope no one was injured in this whole thing. Like, you never want anyone to be harmed in this situation. So the fiery footage obtained by the Post shows the dramatic inferno completely engulfing the 9-bedroom, 9-bath mansion in the pitch black dark. The estate belongs to Oren Aviv, who has produced blockbusters like the National Treasure movies. Oh, I remember those. Whew, Lord. Wow, that's what's left of it. So fire spokesman Chris Brenner said the house was 100% a loss. So here's the thing. This is also why it's extremely important to make sure that you have insurance for different parts of your life because this should be covered by whatever insurance that he has on this, but this is so insane. Like the amount of fire that was, it's insane. So crackles from the flames can be heard in the footage, filmed from at least 100 yards away. A pair of figures can be seen walking in front of the burning property. The devastating fire occurred just before 12:25 a.m. Friday. Authorities said fire spokesman Chris Brenner said the house was 100% a loss. The mansion where construction was underway was empty when the fire broke out. No injuries have been reported, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Now, the thing is like, why was there already construction happening at this place? Like, I don't really get that. So, let's see some of these comments. Insurance lightning. We used to call it some other kind of lightning, but doing so would get us canceled now? I don't even know. Bluish, yeah, that was the description for that kind of lightning. I don't even know what on earth they're talking about. So some of the best arsons happen between the witching hours of 12 midnight to 4 a.m. But I'm sure that's just a coincidence in this case. Good news is the chimney is still standing. Hat tip to the stonemasons who built it. The good news is that the chimney is still standing. The bad news is that it's now 3 feet off the ground. Okay. Blockbuster. National Treasure was a national laughingstock. Terrible movie. Let's see. Somehow this is clearly insurance fraud. House was still under construction. Obviously better to burn it down to get the insurance considering market has switched. All these people get away with murder every time. So here's the thing. I don't really know if this is like insurance fraud. The only thing that I can say though is like it is extremely odd to have such a massive inferno on a house. Like, that's crazy to me. And like the fact that it didn't spread basically everywhere else because they're basically on a bunch of land is also shocking to me. But I'm not going to make claims that it was insurance fraud or anything like that. I'm just saying it's important to make sure that you have good insurance regardless. So once I owned a candy store, business was so bad, I asked my wife what I should do, and this is what she said. Take a can of gasoline, spill it on the floor, take a match, make a scratch, no more candy store. Okay, so basically, insurance fraud. Yeah, that's a shame. That's what happens when you economize by using your $2 million remodeling budget to hire unqualified electricians and plumbers fresh from the border to save enough money to buy your wife, husband, it, Zer Chipmunk a pelvic floor lift. No sympathy. Cha-ching. Money bag emoji. New digs for Oren. Needed some insurance money after producing flops. Insurance baby. Arson. Let's see. Cry Me a River, which by the way is an amazing song. Poor Hollywood. Interesting. Smells like an insurance scam. Could be. I don't know. Right? Like, I'm not going to make any sort of like judgment as to whether or not this is like an insurance fraud situation. But one thing's for sure is that like this is a very costly situation, right? Because let's just say that this isn't insurance fraud, and actually let's say like if he didn't actually even have insurance on the house, financially speaking, he just lost 6.49 million, right? If he had really good insurance and this isn't insurance fraud, well, now he just basically got 6.49 million in the bank that he could use to go buy another property. Now, for me, if I was in this, like, here's the thing. If I was in Oren Aviv's situation and it wasn't insurance fraud and I was basically going to be given like $6.49 million, potentially in an insurance settlement, what I would probably do is go and buy maybe not a mansion, or who knows, maybe. I don't know how much he's even worth anymore or whatever, but I'd probably maybe buy like a property that's like half the amount that you might get from the insurance amount, and then just utilize the other amount of money, the other half, for basically whatever I want and like invest it. Like, I don't really understand the purpose of basically living in a box that cost nearly $7 million because it's just a box when you really think about it. But everyone has their own tastes and whatnot. I just think it's kind of interesting. Let's see. Is there any other real estate stuff? Oh, actually, let's okay. Let's check this out. This is gonna be interesting. Hold on. So, Matt Damon backed crypto firm accidentally sent woman $10 million who used it to buy a mansion. What? So the cryptocurrency firm that hired Matt Damon as a pitchman for its Super Bowl commercial last year mistakenly wired 10.4 million to an Australian woman who then used the money to buy a mansion for her sister in Melbourne, according to a report. The cryptocurrency exchange Crypto.com initially intended to send a $100 refund to Melbourne resident Devamanogari Manavel in May of last year. Instead, the firm erroneously transferred $10,474,143 to Manavel, who then split up the money among six other people, including her daughter and sister, according to news.com.au. So during a routine audit 7 months later, the company discovered the error and went to court in an effort to retrieve the money. Extraordinary, the plaintiffs allegedly did not realize this significant error until some 7 months later, in late December 2021. The Victorian Supreme Court Judge James Elliott wrote in a court ruling. Crypto.com sued Manavel and the six others who received the money. So Crypto.com, which hired blah 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 blah. Let's see. So last Friday, the company won a court ruling ordering the defendants to repay all the money and to cover legal expenses that were incurred plus 10% interest, which amounts to $27,369.64. and the post reached out to Crypto.com for comment. So Manavale used some of the money to buy a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house in Melbourne as a gift to her sister, Dilagavathi Gangadori, according to court papers. The home is said to be worth $1.35 million. Wow. And if that's what the house looks like right here, that looks pretty nice, not gonna lie. So Crypto.com filed court papers in February, and the company managed to freeze Manavale's accounts. By then, most of the money had been dispersed to Gangadori and the other 5 people named in the legal filing. Since Gangadori's name was listed as the registered owner of the home, Crypto.com asked the courts to freeze her bank accounts. A judge also ordered that the property be sold and that the proceeds be used to reimburse Crypto.com. Gangadori was forced to sell the home while also being required to pay interest on the money that was taken, and the company has been unable to get in touch with Manavale and the other defendants about the remaining funds. So here's the thing, right? What I find interesting about this is that we're talking about a crypto exchange, crypto website, accidentally giving money to another person, right? Well, to like an actual like customer and whatnot, and it was their mistake. Now, what I find interesting about that, say that you were a customer on crypto.com, but you accidentally sent money to another account that wasn't yours, but some other customers. You may not be able to get that money at all, and Crypto.com might be like, hey, you screwed up. That's not on us. We're not going to bother with it. You lost your money by sending your money to the wrong wallet, right? Because again, this is crypto that we're talking about. So I find it interesting that a crypto company won't face the same situation that a customer would face if the customer screwed up the same way that the crypto company did. Like, it's kind of interesting, a little bit sad. Like, here's the thing, I could understand, let's say, like a bank accidentally giving money to their bank customer and then not giving that money back and being held responsible for that, right? Because that's a bank. But we're talking about crypto, and we have a crypto company that accidentally sent money to their customer's account, right? Which isn't necessarily the same thing as a bank. So, I don't know, kind of interesting. Feel free to give your thoughts.